So when I was getting ready to get everything started, it started leaking. You know, nothing there where the Teflon tape is on both ends. It's the mode again. So there it is, guys. It's pumping.
Perfect.
Alright gang, forgive this shaky camera because I don't have my YouTube camera here because it was last minute while I popped up, but I'm gonna show you guys what's going on. So this is the bracket that's gonna hold the pump and the tank, you know, and I'm gonna tell you what these two holes are for. This first hole is an access panel to get to that second hole, and this second hole I'm gonna show you what it does. Let me set it up here. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what that do. And as you can see, let me turn on this flashlight. You can see the little hook for the child safety seat. So what we did is we put a bracket that slips through it, comes out and screws to here, and that holds it in place. And that access panel lets us access that. So I'm not screwing the methanol tank and pump directly into my interior, which I'm not doing that. And it holds it there like literally bone steady, like it's not going nowhere. And I'm gonna get the hope I'm not shaking too much. If I'm shaking, just forgive me gang, cause like I'm trying to do this without the YouTube camera. But the tank actually goes here, and you see it covers up that access panel. And the pump goes on the side of it, and the little check valve right there goes down up under the pump. Up under the tank. So, and we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap that in carpet so it looks like it's. I wanted to wrap it in black carpet, but we don't have black carpet, so we're gonna wrap it in gray carpet. And then, it's gonna look like it's a part of the truck instead of just screwing this stuff inside of the panels and stuff. And we got JoJo doing it, you already know. Infinite Audio's finest. So yeah, that's what I got right now. But I'm gonna get the YouTube camera when I finish this, so it's not shaky. This is gonna be the last shaky part. What's swinging, gang? It's the next day. I'm looking a hot mess, and I got the meth tank and pump bracket all wrapped. So I'm gonna let you guys see what it looked like inside the trunk. You know, I'm glad I didn't have to drill into my side panels and drill into my back seat like most people do when they put in the meth kit. And I also did a little something else that looks good in my personal opinion. Some people might think it's cheesy, but this is mine. I'm gonna do what I want to with it, you know? So let's check this out. All right, as you all guys already know, I got a Power logo on the back. I took off my X6M logo. I just had the Power logo on the back, and I also have the Power logo, the Power badge, shall I say, on the front of the grill. You know, I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to have X6M on the front, X6M on the back, because this is well beyond the X6M. In the new 2020 X6Ms, when you pop the rear hatch on the little grocery cover, that's what I call it, grocery cover hider or whatever, it says X6M on it. You know, it has an emblem on it. On this version, the F86, it doesn't. But now it has my own special touch. Look at that, I just tried to pop it like I was all cool, and I don't even have the key next to me. So let me grab the key real quick, and now we can pop it. There we go. Now the first thing you see when I open it is the Power logo there, and it looks factory, guys. Well, in my opinion, it does. Let me know what you guys think about that. Cause like I told you, on the 2020 and newer, the F96, it has a X6M badge in that little area. So I just figured I would put something there. It looks good in my personal opinion, so let me guys know what you think about that. But anyways, let me fold that back, and I'm gonna turn on this light so we can get to the beans. All right, there we go. Got the light on here because it's kind of dark in this trunk. All right, so as you see there, the bracket is done. You know, I'm gonna get a little look on the side. It's pretty much like a subwoofer box, a mini subwoofer box. See, it's not that big. That's my hand on the side of it. It's real thin, and there's two different places I can sit that. I can sit it over in this corner, or I can sit it in the middle, because it reaches that one too, but it doesn't line up with that one. So I can have the tank and the pump in the middle. When I pop the rear, which is better for weight distribution, at least it's evenly spaced. You know, it's not just more weight over on this side. So I might run it in the middle. You know, and it'll be it keeps everything like symmetrical, and it'll be the first thing you see when I pop the hatch. You know, man, I can't stop looking at that power emblem, man. Yeah, it looks orange with the light, but let me turn the light down and you'll see it's red. See? Yeah, it's definitely red. But yeah, I'm headed back over to the shop now, and we're gonna go ahead and plumb this up, and we're gonna get everything ran to the front, get the pump wired up, the controller wired up. Like, I went with 3 different kits here, guys. I have the Snow Performance controller, Snow Performance level indicator, and I'm putting a level indicator inside a Burger Motorsports tank. Usually Burger Motorsports don't have a level indicator on their tank because it's ran by the JB4, and the JB4 tells you when you're low on meth. I'm not running JB4 because my car isn't going to be dependent on meth, since I'm doing F90 M5 high pressure fuel pumps. I'm going to run an E50 in meth tune. Ooh, this baby going to be a beast. And I have a Burger Motorsports pump as well, and I have cooling mist nozzles. So yeah, we're gonna get this wired up and ran to the front, but we're not gonna do any of the engine. Let me turn this camera around. We're not gonna do any of the engine. Let me close this. Sorry guys, let me get this out of the way. So we're not gonna do any of the engine parts, like putting the injectors in, I mean the methanol nozzles in and stuff like that, because I have to have that professionally done at an engine shop, because the bottom of the intercoolers has to be tapped, and once the intercoolers are tapped, you know, I can screw the methanol nozzle in. So that has to be custom did. The intercoolers has to come out, and we're not doing that at our car audio shop. We're gonna do that at either Ken's Automotive or somewhere else. So let's get over to the shop to get this meth kit finished. I haven't been recording everything because I want to get this perfect, and you know, I couldn't really put the camera anywhere with both of us deep inside the trunk. But we have the switch power already ran. It's not hooked up yet. We got the pump mounted, the tank mounted, and it's solid as a rock, thanks to this child safety hook. You know, the child safety hook is going to be safe if you're going to trust your baby with it. So, and we have the solenoid up under it, and the pump looks like it's on the ground, but it just looks like that. It's not on the ground at all. It's a gap between it. I just wanted the pump mounted lower than the tank, even though I have the solenoid, so it really didn't have to be, but I'd rather the pump be lower than the tank. So we're gonna get a little bit more going, and I'm gonna come right back. So we finally got it all the way installed. The pump ran. You know, we had to loop a couple of the pump wires. I meant the pump hoses, but they're not kinked, you know, and I don't mind them looking like that. And like I told you, the pump is not on the ground. It just looks like it, because I wanted the pump to be just as low or lower than the feed from the tank, so the pump stays primed 24/7. And it looks gorgeous. I mean, and it's super tight. Like, that's crazy how tight just that little anchor can keep all of that. But right now, we already ran everything. It took a long time. As you can see, it's nighttime because this hose was giving us hell. Like it wants to stay coiled up, so it took forever to run it through, to the point where we had to run it by itself. We'll run the wires, then run the tube, run the wires, run the tube. So I mean, we're right at the home stretch. We just got to run the wires all the way up to the control box, throw the control box under the dashboard, and then find a place to mount the LED for the low methanol LED. And I think I'm gonna put my controller here. So we finna get that done so you guys can see it. But she turning out great. I can't wait to spray this baby with that meth. All right, gang, the methanol kit is finished. You can see I got the truck behind me. I'm back at the shop. We didn't get a chance to test it that night because it was dark and we wanted to sleep, get everything fresh, you know, so we can fill this baby up with water and prime the pump to make sure everything good, no leaks. So I'm gonna show you what I'm finna do. Let me flip this camera around. So I'm gonna pop this hood too so I can show you guys. Everything is routed. I have my controller right here. You know, that's the best place for me, you know, is at eye level for me. And I have the low level indicator LED bulb here, and that's also at eye level for me. I didn't want to drill into my dashboard and no crap like that. And as soon as it lights up, I want to be able to see it, you know, so I'm doing this that way so everything is factory. And as you can see, we have all the wires and hose not kinked, ran all the way through. Let me unlock these doors. I don't have the key in my pocket, so we have it ran all the way through professionally with enough slack with every turn. So if I was to say let down, let me show you real quick. I'm gonna let down this seat. If I was to let down this seat, because you have to let down this seat first because the panel comes over and it locks this seat up unless you let that one down. And let down this seat, you can see I have enough slack for everything. The hose moves with the seat back. It's enough slack so nothing snatches. Then I can lift this seat right back up and you see the hose goes right back down under the seat. And it's enough slack all the way through. And it turned out great, guys. And you can see I have the check valve right in the middle. Solenoid, whatever the hell you call it. So I'm gonna let these seats up. We finna fill it up with water and go ahead and prime this baby. Cause I took the fuse out. We have the fuse in here. We have it right there, the fuse jumper, and it's a 5 amp fuse, and we have a 3 amp fuse in it as the secondary fuse. And Snow Performance said that will be fine, but if we have problems with it, just use a little bigger fuse. But 215s in here also is switch power. You know, I don't know what they're switch power for. This 5 amp fuse I'm using is switch power for the media system. So if I have to use one of the 15s, I'll use one of the 15s. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this tank up and pop that fuse back in so we can go ahead and purge this thing. And this is gonna be my first time turning it on at all, guys. So I don't know if it works or not. So you're gonna see when I see. So let's fill this tank up. Drop this camera a little bit so you guys can see better. Right there. And we're finna fill this tank up with water. And I'm just using this to purge the tank. So, and this is filtered water also, guys. This isn't just regular hose water. So I'm gonna fill that up. I'm not gonna fill it up all the way. Man, that spill catcher works great. I'm just gonna fill it up enough for where I can test the pump. I'll just do it halfway, about like that. Matter of fact, it's only a little bit left in here. I just put everything in there. There we go. And definitely, guys, if you're gonna run Burger Motorsports, definitely invest in one of these with the one-way check valve so it can suck in air, but it doesn't let any methanol fumes out in the car. You know, and usually Burger Motorsports, like I told you, Burger Motorsports doesn't have a doesn't need a level sender, a level fluid level sending unit, because it works off the JB4. But I added a level sending unit to mine there from Snow Performance, since I'm not using the JB4 to control my meth, and nothing's leaking so far. Like, it's holding water, so that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the fuse in, then we can see what's going on. So when I was getting ready to get everything started, it started leaking. You know, nothing is ever perfect. It leaked a little bit, and I'm gonna show you guys where it leaked at. Hold on, let me turn this camera around. If you can see under there where the Teflon tape is on both ends, it's the filter. And nothing else leaks, because everything else has crush sleeves or push to tighten, or whatever they're called. But it only leaked right there in that spot where the filter is, and the filter doesn't have anything. It's just a screw terminal and a brass screw, female to male. You know, there's no type of crush sleeve in there, no type of nothing. So I put some Teflon tape on it, but I've heard people say don't use Teflon tape because the methanol will melt it and it'll clog up the system over time. But I made sure not to use any Teflon tape like deep inside, just far enough up for the threads to catch. So hopefully that's fine. And if not, I'll just use like some E6000 or something. That's what I also read, and I think that's on Snow Performance website. They say use E6000, screw it on, and let it 100% cure, and that'll seal it up. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think about me using Teflon tape on the methanol line, you know. And if I'm gonna research it a little bit more, and if I can use it, I will. If I can't, I'll switch it to E6000 before I put any meth in it. But I'm just squirting straight purified water through right now, so it shouldn't do any damage. So let's get this test on the way. Okay, we have the controller on now. So he told me what I have to do to spray it is pretty much press the up and down arrow at the same time. Up and down, and it should spray. I got the hose ran right out of the trunk, if you guys can see that. I mean right out of the hood. So I'm gonna press the up and down at the same time and see if it purges. So let's go. These buttons are so small, I don't know how I'm gonna press both of them at the same time, but let's try it. It's in jet mode. Maybe I gotta have the car crunk. So it went into jet mode, so let me crank the car and see. Now I'm gonna see if it goes. It's in jet mode again, so there it is, guys. It's pumping. I guess it's a bunch of air in it, but it's definitely, the pump is definitely working. Anything leaking back there, JoJo? Huh? I think it gotta purge the system. Okay, hold on guys, I'm finna set this camera up here so we can adjust real quick. All right, gang, so if you can see here, there's no actual bubbles coming out of the tank. See, it's solid water coming out of the tank, but when it gets through the solenoid in the filter, it's bubbles in it. It's aerated kinda, you know. So I don't know if that's the filter making it aerate or what. I'm thinking it's the filter. So I'm gonna call and see if it's the filter, the reason why it's aerating like that. Cause you can see it's a bunch of like air comes out and it purges. The pump purges it doesn't stay on constantly. It shoots, then stops, shoots, then stops. But I guess that's only because it's purging, you know. So I don't know. I'm gonna contact Burger Motorsports and Snow Performance, since this is a mix of both of their kits. All right, gang, good news. I called and they said that the bubbles are normal, and that once I run enough fluid through, the bubbles should stop, you know, because I guess it gotta get all the air out of the pump, all the air out of the lines, all the air out of the filters, tank, and stuff like that. But they say the bubbles should stop. And also with the pump turning on and off, that's how purge mode is. But when I'm using it for real, like in the boost settings, the pump will stay constant. So everything's great, guys. It's no leaks, you know, the pump works. And I stopped pumping water through it while it was still bubbles. So I'm gonna fill the tank up again and keep pumping it through all the way until there's no more bubbles. But we got methanol injection on this truck now. For all my loyal subscribers and loyal supporters, it's been a long time coming, but I told you guys that this X6M is gonna be 1,000 crank horsepower animal, around 800 wheel horsepower animal. You know, we shooting for the low 10s, guys. With this stage 3, we shooting for the low 10s, 10.4, 10.5, maybe 10.2. You know, who knows? I just want to do some low 10s in this thing. I'm gonna swap the wheels out, go back down to a 20, so I can get a drag radial on the front and the back, just in case with the new power, because all-wheel drive cars, they spin too, especially with a buttload of torque. So I'm definitely gonna go back down to a 20. Maybe I might keep the same wheels that I have now. I might keep these wheels designed, just go down to a 20, or change the wheels. I'm not sure yet, but I'm looking at a couple. I'm gonna put this other one I'm looking at right here on the screen, and let me know if you guys like the factory ones, I mean the ones I have on here now better, or the ones that I plan on getting better. And that's the one we're gonna run with, gang, because I like both of them. So whatever one you like, that's the one we're gonna buy. So, you know, like, if you not subscribed, like and subscribe to the content so you guys can see this thing when it's done, because she's gonna be a fire breathing dragon. So auto lust out.